Et bonsoir, bonsoir tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. Et on se retrouve pour du Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty pour la suite du Let's Play. Et oui, encore du Metal Gear Solid. Et oui, je kiffe Metal Gear Solid. Peut-être vous en avez un petit peu marre parce qu'en ce moment je fais que soit de la F1, soit du Metal Gear Solid. Mais rassurez-vous, dans les jours à venir, je pense que je vais un petit peu varier. Il y a le let's play de Dying Light 2 qui devrait reprendre, je pense, dans pas très longtemps. Voilà. Il faudra que je motive Iceman et tout à continuer le let's play. Peut-être aussi du Phasmophobia parce que c'est vrai que je l'ai téléchargé le jeu Phasmophobia qui est un jeu un petit peu horreur, enquête, tout ça, fantôme. Donc voilà, peut-être que vous aurez du Phasmophobia dans pas longtemps également. Peut-être retourner aussi sur Rocket League. C'est vrai que ça fait un moment que j'ai pas rejoué à Rocket League. Et puis ben d'autres jeux, hein, rassurez-vous, maintenant que je suis sur PC, ça va y aller les jeux, hein. Donc vous inquiétez pas. Et puis ben écoutez, on est reparti pour la suite de ce let's play. Donc je vais passer sur la scène de jeu. Hop, voilà. Tac. Donc on s'était laissé juste ici à l'entrée pour sauver le président qui est retenu en otage. Décidément, les présidents, on en sauve pas mal, hein, entre Metal Gear Solid 1, le 2 là. On doit sauver à chaque fois des otages et tout. Pas mal de similarités, hein, on a vu entre Metal Gear Solid 1 et puis celui-là, entre Shadow Moses et cet endroit-là. Et on avait découvert aussi un autre frère, hein, Solidus Snake qui est un autre frère à Solid Snake apparemment. Après, à voir si ça vérifie, hein, si c'est vraiment son frère et tout, mais il se fait passer pour le frère à Solid Snake, à Liquid Snake du coup. Et il y a eu pas mal de choses, voilà, donc je vous invite à aller revoir les rediffs Twitch qui sont encore disponibles, ou bien les rediffs YouTube qui arriveront dans quelques jours, une fois que j'aurai terminé de diffuser Metal Gear Solid 1, voilà, sur ma chaîne YouTube. Et puis bah écoutez, on va y aller, hein. On va y aller, je sais pas ce que vous en dites. Allez, c'est parti, allons sauver le président. Le voici.
President Johnson,
Huh? So you're finally here.
you've been expecting me?
Your equipment, that skull suit isn't exactly standard military issue.
Are you all right, sir?
Is this some kind of sick joke? I thought you came to kill me.
What?
I'm prepared to face the consequences of my betrayal.
What are you...
Oh, qu'est-ce qui lui arrive, lui? Il me
You're
touchait.
a man? Well, who are you?
Le mec, il a cru qu'on était une
Foxhound,
gonzesse,
sir.
quoi. C'est un
Foxhound?
ouf.
I see. Now things are starting to make a little sense. Switch over to nano-communication so nobody can listen in.
Yes, sir.
Pas de souci, monsieur le président.
Do you read me, sir?
Yes.
Mr. President, it's my understanding that the terrorists have managed to input the code sequence necessary for launching a nuclear
Apparemment,
strike.
That's correct.
ils ont réussi à avoir les
I
codes,
punched
machin et
the
tout pour le
sequence in myself.
lancement
You're
nucléaire.
working for them?
If you
Et donc, on
asked
avait
me
appris
2
aussi qu'il y a
hours
le
ago,
Metal
my
Gear,
answer
hein,
would have been yes.
que tout ça c'était
Now,
tromperie, hein, que c'est pas un
they're
truc
keeping me alive until my vital
de
signs are
décontamination
reconfirmed.
contre la
They
pollution, tout
betrayed
ça,
you?
et c'était.
I wouldn't quite put it that way. I
Après,
wanted
il
power.
cachait le
They
Metal
sought
Gear.
destruction.
But why stoop to terrorism?
I wanted absolute power.
But you're the president. You have power.
No, I'm just a figurehead.
What?
I don't have any control. The real power is in the Patriots' hands.
The
Patriots.
The truth behind this country. I'm not surprised you've never heard of them. Very few are aware of their existence, even among those with code
C'est
word
bien,
clearance.
on va en savoir plus sur les Patriotes.
Politics, the military, the economy, they control it all. They even choose who becomes president. Putting it simply, the Patriots rule this country.
No.
Hard to believe, isn't it? But it's the truth. The space defense, income tax reduction, and national missile defense programs. Every policy that's been credited to me was actually done according to their instructions.
Space defense was initiated by Congress.
That's what the Patriots want the country to believe. It's all a show.
Attendez, je vais faire un petit
Democracy
truc.
is just a filler for textbooks.
Voilà, je me suis
Think
mis
about it.
en plein
Do you
écran.
actually believe that public opinion influences the government?
No.
This country is shaped and controlled as the Patriots see fit. The people are shown what they want to believe. What you call government is actually a well-staged production aimed at satisfying the public.
Huh?
Don't look at me like that. I'm legally sane, you know.
It's not your sanity that worries me.
Quand je vous dis que cette histoire, l'histoire de Metal Gear Solid, elle est ouf.
Even I don't know who the actual members are.
Entre
Are
les
they financial,
Patriots,
political,
Lalilulelo,
military?
tellement
No
de
one knows who
trucs
the
divers.
Patriots really are.
L'histoire, elle est
Even my
incroyable de
instructions
cette
come from
saga.
the cutout. All I've been told is that every key decision is made by a group of 12 men, known as the Wise Men's Committee.
Your office? The White House?
Merely puppets, pawns in a game. By pledging my loyalty, an insignificant son of a senator was awarded the presidency. Of course, that wasn't the only price I had to pay.
What do you mean?
Even if a pawn becomes a queen, it is still just a playing piece. I wanted to leave my own mark in history, but my ambitions were... You'll understand someday.
Un jour, vous comprendrez.
I wished to be a member of the Patriots. I wanted to wield the power of a king instead of being an expendable pawn.
And that justifies acts of terrorism?
Yes, I'd intended to use the new Metal Gear as a bargaining chip.
Bargaining chip?
But I underestimated Solidus. He actually wants to challenge the Patriots, even if it means the destruction of the world.
What are you saying?
Whether you believe it or not, the balance of power rests in the hands of the Patriots. They regulate the country's various interests through controlled presentation, staging a drama that is palatable to the general masses. Can you imagine what would happen if they ceased to function? Picture a massive political vacuum, a space that every powermonger will try to fill for their own greedy ends. I'm talking about an unregulated power struggle, panic, civil war, chaos. Like it or not, the Patriots is an organization that must continue to exist.
So you changed your mind because you wanted to avoid global chaos.
Exactly. When
Exactly.
I told Solidus that I wished to prevent disaster, he replied that pawns can never become players.
And who is this Solidus?
On va en savoir plus sur
My
Solidus aussi.
predecessor,
Donc voilà,
George Sears.
c'était George Sears, son prédécesseur, il était président avant
I
lui.
know him by his code name, Solidus Snake. He was the third snake, preceded by Solid and
On a la
Liquid, a
confirmation.
survivor of the Les Enfants Terribles
Les
project.
enfants terribles.
Neither solid nor liquid. He was a well-balanced masterpiece that the Patriots saw fit to entrust with the presidency. However, he fell out of grace with the organization 4 years ago. When acting on his own, he started an incident.
4 years ago. Shadow Moses.
That's right. At the time, the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, together with certain influential parties, initiated the development of Metal Gear Rex and an advanced nuclear
Il reparle
warhead.
aussi de Metal Gear Solid
However, this
1.
did not fall in line with the Patriots' plans. What's more, Solidus decided on his own to send his most trusted man, Ocelot, to provoke Liquid Snake, bringing about the said incident. As a result, he succeeded in obtaining Rex and the data on the warhead. But in doing so, he ended up revealing the existence of both Rex and the Genome Army, a blunder that earned him the wrath of the Patriots. Shortly thereafter, Solidus was removed from the presidential office.
Donc voilà, c'est pour ça qu'il a été viré par les Patriotes, parce que c'est les Patriotes qui dirigent le pays. C'est même pas le président, c'est les Patriotes, ils sont encore au-dessus, quoi.
Their new pawn for the presidency.
But that would mean that the presidential race was...
That was quite a show, wasn't it? It was a well-scripted drama staged by the Patriots for the benefit of the public. Even the Democrats and Republicans were dancing to the Patriots' tune. Everything went according to plan, but for one exception.
Huh.
Following his resignation, Solidus' health was scheduled to fail him, bringing about his untimely death.
Capped?
Correct. But before the Patriots could execute their plot, Solidus went underground with the help of Ocelot. As he
Ah, il voulait
avoided
l'éliminer
pursuit,
carrément.
Solidus gained control of Dead Cell, winning over Colonel Golukovich's outfit.
Et
From
du coup, il a un
there,
petit
he
peu fait
bided his time,
cavalier
knowing
seul
that his opportunity would soon arrive.
What opportunity?
The
et a formé
completion of the
la Dead
new
Cell.
Metal Gear project, an opportunity that would even his odds against the Patriots. By stealing the Patriots' most valued project, he would be able to place them in a very uncomfortable position. It's the only chance he has for survival. Once he has the new Metal Gear, he'll declare war against the Patriots. Needless to say, he must be stopped.
Metal Gear is already operational.
No, not yet.
Hmm?
What you saw was Metal Gear Ray, hijacked 2 years ago from the Marines by Ocelot. That was not the new Metal Gear.
Then where's the new Metal Gear?
Et encore un nouveau.
Right here.
What?
You're standing in it. To be more precise, this entire big shell facility is
Eh
the
oui.
new Metal Gear.
What'd you say?
No, I'm quite serious. The upper structure that you've seen is camouflage, designed to represent an offshore
ouf.
cleanup facility. The main structure extends from the foundation all the way down to the ocean floor.
Salut, Snake. Première fois, non, j'ai déjà fait la saga Metal Gear plusieurs fois. Là, je la refais pour refaire la saga. Surtout, j'ai pas fait le Metal Gear Solid 4. Je l'ai juste vu en vidéo, mais c'est la première fois que je le fais, que je vais y jouer. Donc voilà, je refais tous les Metal Gear pour arriver jusqu'au Metal Gear Solid 4 et pour pouvoir le faire. Donc voilà, j'ai vraiment hâte d'y être et de le faire, ce Metal Gear Solid 4 qui va être incroyable au niveau histoire et tout. En tout cas, bienvenue à toi. Donc voilà, ça, toute la plateforme où on est là, ça cache le nouveau Metal Gear. Merci pour l'abonnement, c'est cool. Merci à toi.
Arsenal was created to be the core of our country.
What kind of idiotic weapon?
Weapon? No. You're not seeing the full picture.
Hmm?
Arsenal gear is more than just a military tool.
C'est l'Arsenal Gear, voilà.
It is a means to preserve the world as it is. It will establish a new form of control. The Patriots will use it to keep their place as the country's true rulers. Right now, they feel pressured and threatened.
By what?
They fear an overabundance of digital information. The world will drown in the coming flood of information, and they along with it. The Arsenal plans include a system to digitally manage the flow of information, making it possible to shape the truth for their own purposes. In short, the Arsenal system is the key to their supremacy.
The key?
Yes, the GW system is the Patriots' trump card. Arsenal gear will be fully operational when GW is successfully integrated. Once operational, it will be a completely new form of power for the Patriots to wield. I had hoped to seize the project from them, so that I would be in a strong bargaining position.
Bargain for what?
I'd hoped to trade my way into their ranks, but Solidus preferred rebellion. Outer Heaven, his plan to unleash a nuclear blast over the skies of Wall Street to break the Patriots' control over the business community, is also a key factor in his offensive effort.
Outer Heaven?
Listen, there isn't much time. The football served as the key for activating Arsenal gear. I've already input the necessary code sequence. It won't be long before GW begins to establish connections with other external systems, and Arsenal gear becomes fully operational. Stop them before that happens. That is your role.
Role?
You've got to find Emma Emmerich. She's the only one who can
Emma
stop
Emmerich,
that thing
la
once
sœur
it's been activated.
Emma Emmerich?
de Otacon.
She's the system programmer for Arsenal gear. I believe she's somewhere on level B1 in the core of this building.
I thought the levels below us were flooded.
I'm sure they won't let her die just yet.
Donc il va falloir qu'on retourne au niveau inférieur où c'était inondé. Parce que c'est là qu'elle se trouve apparemment.
Located in the northwest part of level B1. Cut transmission and get moving.
Pouh, on en a appris des infos là. Hein.
This is card 4. It'll give you access
Sur
all the
les
way to Emma's location.
sur les Patriotes, sur ce qui s'était passé dans Shadow Moses, sur qui est vraiment Solidus, tout ça. Je vous ai dit, niveau histoire, c'est ouf ce jeu. Cette saga, elle est incroyable niveau histoire.
A biological weapon designed to selectively eliminate personnel with a specific genetic code.
But why do you have it?
The Patriots had it engineered as a failsafe, and Ocelot forgot to search me. You've got to hurry. That disc is the only way you're going to stop Arsenal. Well, I've told you everything you need to know. There's only one thing that remains to be done. Now, kill me.
What?
There's no time to argue. The final check for my vital ID will start any second. If you kill me now, you'll at least prevent the nuclear strike.
Cut it out!
Do it! That's your role! Pull!
Adios le président. Et c'est Ocelot qui a tiré dessus. Qui lui a tiré dessus.
Ex-president. The president! Why did you... Alas, my finger must have slipped.
Donc s'il l'a tué, c'est qu'ils ont plus besoin de lui.
Carrier boy.
Forget him. He did us a favor. Without free will, there is no difference between submission and rebellion. My only real choice is to put an end to this charade. Let me at least have the freedom to end it myself.
What are you...
Find Emma. Stop Arsenal. This is my last order as your commander-in-chief. I'm counting on you.
Bon bah le président qui sera pas mort d'une soi-disant crise cardiaque à cause du Foxeye. Donc ouais, pas mal de choses à retenir hein, sur les Patriots. Bon ça les Patriots on en saura beaucoup plus dans les prochains Metal Gear Solid. Parce qu'il y a tellement de choses à savoir sur les Patriots, c'est ouf. Et donc ouais on a eu la confirmation que Solidus eh ben, c'est bien le frère de Solid Snake et Liquid Snake. Comme quoi c'est une famille, une grande famille, la famille Snake. Hein. Et puis bah écoutez, on va continuer, je crois qu'il y a le colonel qui va nous contacter, ouais c'est ça.
Colonel, the president is dead.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that.
Where do we go from here?
Your mission was to rescue the president and eliminate the
Mec,
terrorists.
oh je suis désolé, et puis après, ils sont pas les couilles. Ça le choque pas plus que ça quoi.
You must put a stop to Arsenal gear once and for all.
Lui c'est mission.
There's any truth to his story about this big shell facility being a front for Arsenal gear?
I don't have the security clearance necessary to verify the facts. However, he was the president. I'm sure he knew what he was talking about.
Aren't you forgetting that he was part of the terrorist plot?
All the more reason why I believe his information is reliable.
Huh?
We're talking about a man who chose to die rather than risk a nuclear holocaust. Thanks to his sacrifice, the Nuclear Launch Authority has shifted to the vice president, effectively eliminating the terrorist threat.
Colonel, when you put it like that, it almost sounds like I should have assassinated the president to eliminate the
C'est
threat.
clair.
That was not my intention. I was trying to point out that there is certainly some credibility to the words of a man who chose death to protect the innocent.
The Colonel has a point, Jack.
What about the information he gave me on the Patriots?
That's a new one on me. I'll see what I can find out. Raiden, we're running out of time. Find Emma. She's supposed to be located on level B1, in the core of that building you're in, right? You've got to find her before Arsenal becomes fully operational.
Hurry, Jack.
It's up to you to make sure that the President didn't sacrifice his life in vain.
Understood. Raiden out.
What's your status, Raiden?
Snake, the President, he's been assassinated.
What?
There was nothing I could do.
What about the nuclear strike code sequence?
He died before his vital ID could be reconfirmed.
Then the enemy's lost their nuclear strike capability.
But that Ocelot guy obviously killed the President on purpose.
Ah oui, ça,
Why?
ça c'est
It doesn't
sûr.
make any sense. They had to know that they couldn't launch the nuke if they killed the President.
À moins qu'ils ont trouvé une alternative.
Without reconfirming the vital ID.
Eh oui.
Or maybe they found a more effective weapon within Arsenal gear.
You knew about Arsenal gear?
Yeah,
Why didn't you tell me about it?
you never asked.
Am I correct in assuming you also know that the big shell's a front for the project?
You mean, did I know that the Big Shell, a fully functional environmental cleanup facility, was designed to camouflage Arsenal gear? Yeah, I did. It's exactly what the President and Ames described, a massive cover story. The good news is that it hasn't really done much in terms of cleaning up the environment, so we won't have to worry about any toxic gas being released if we have to blow the house down.
Right. And
En
when
gros,
did
ils
you
étaient
find
tous au
out
courant
about all
par,
this?
à part
It took a
Aiden.
while, but we uncovered the info around the time you took out that mad bomber.
C'est un peu le touriste, Aiden.
There's no doubt that Arsenal gear is being built here.
Il suit les ordres de son colonel, et même son colonel, là, il est chelou.
All of it.
2 years ago. What really happened here?
I took these photos 2 years ago.
Les fameuses photos
They were on the news on several websites.
qu'on a mis 10 ans à faire. Parce que je me rappelais plus si on pouvait monter en haut ou pas, mais en fait non,
That's right.
on pouvait les prendre d'en bas.
We were used.
We'd hoped that by going public with photos of the new Metal Gear, we could persuade the government. At least that was the plan at the time.
I've gone through VR training of the tanker mission before.
Yeah? Well, I doubt it accurately simulates the events of that mission. I'd infiltrated the dummy tanker to obtain proof that a Metal Gear was under development. Shortly after I made it aboard, an armed group led by Colonel Gerlukovich raided the ship and gained control.
Olga and Ocelot were among the raiding party.
Yeah, and him.
Who are you talking about?
A man that was supposed to be dead.
Their target was
Liquid.
also Metal Gear Ray. But Ocelot eliminated Colonel Gerlukovich and Marine Commander Scott Dolph, and he hijacked Ray.
So he betrayed them?
I don't know what kind of deal was going down. All I remember is what Ocelot said at the time. Something like, "I'm taking it back."
Ocelot then sank the tanker, along with the soldiers of the Marine Corps.
How did you manage to get out?
Otacon managed to have a small boat ready for me.
That was the easy part. The tough part was not getting dragged down with the sinking tanker. Small miracle when you think about it. It turned out that the whole thing was a setup to lure us. Photos of Snake, taken by the Cypher, were released to the public. In turn, we became the world's most wanted environmental
Ah, du coup,
terrorists.
ils les ont fait passer pour, enfin, ils ont fait passer Solid Snake pour le méchant, celui qui a fait couler le tanker.
Since the Shadow Moses incident, Snake became sort of a hero. I think the Patriots weren't too happy about that.
You knew about the Patriots?
Well, yes, to a certain degree.
It seems like everyone knows about them except me.
C'est ça.
They didn't choose Snake to be a hero.
So they decided to do a smear campaign.
I think the Patriots wanted to make an example of him so everybody would think twice before opposing them.
That's it! They set all this up just to nail you guys.
No, there's more to it than that. The Marines' Metal Gear Ray project, headed by Commander Dolph, was carried out in opposition to the Navy's Arsenal Gear project. To be more precise, the Patriots considered Metal Gear Ray to be a thorn in their side. Hence, they attacked the dummy tanker and stole Ray.
Et tout était
They followed this up with
orchestré.
a perfect plan. They immediately sent a fully loaded tanker to the same location and sank it. Then set up the facility to camouflage the development of Arsenal Gear.
And we fell for it. 2 more puppets in their show.
Colonel Gerlukovich and his daughter Olga?
Both fell victim to Ocelot's plot.
Was Solidus behind all this? He used Ocelot to get hold of Ray, huh?
No, he was underground, keeping a low profile at the time.
Then it must be the Patriots.
If that's the case, what's Ocelot doing alongside Solidus?
Bonne question. Qui auront des réponses.
Forget it. We're wasting time. We can figure this out later. The nuclear strike's been prevented, but Arsenal still has a massive
Bon, une fois que tout le blabla sera terminé, je vais juste faire une mini pause, histoire d'aller allumer la lumière.
Ryden, you've got to find Emma.
Wait a second. Isn't Emma Emmerich?
My sister.
What's she doing here?
Ah, c'est vrai que ça n'avait pas été confirmé que c'était sa sœur, mais bon. Je pense que vous vous en doutez. Hein.
How she got involved in weapons development is beyond me.
Whatever her reasons, we need her in order.
Comme quoi
to
la
stop
famille Emmerich,
Arsenal.
elle aussi,
I'm on my
elle aide
way.
au développement des Metal Gear. Avant c'était le frère Otacon pour le premier Metal Gear, et là c'est au tour de la sœur. Bref les amis, je vais faire une mini pause de quelques secondes, hein, juste histoire d'allumer la lumière, fermer les volets, tout ça pour être posé, pour être bien. Donc je vous dis à tout de suite. Et me revoici. Ah bah c'est mieux comme ça, non? Au moins vous voyez mieux ma gueule. Même si elle est moche. Hop. Voilà, je rebascule en plein écran le jeu. Hop. Donc, bah écoutez, on est parti. Il faut aller voir Emma Emmerich, donc qui est au niveau inférieur de la Shell 2, la Shell 2, qui est en partie noyée, hein, cette partie, donc il va falloir replonger dans l'eau, éviter les bombes qu'il y a dedans et tout, ça va être galère. Et donc empêcher le lancement de l'Arsenal Gear, enfin du Metal Gear, du nouveau Metal Gear Ray, parce que c'est une autre version du Metal Gear Ray. Hop. Alors attendez, je vais juste récupérer des trucs si on a des choses à récupérer. Je vais voir ça ici. Non, c'est bon. Let's go! Ouvrez-moi! Donc... vous avez vu l'histoire, elle est folle, hein, de Metal Gear. C'est un film, ce jeu. C'est plus qu'un film. C'est Metal Gear Solid, quoi, tout simplement. Je kiffe. Je suis fan de ce jeu, de cette saga. Vivement Metal Gear Solid 4, j'en peux plus. Allez, on est reparti. Ah, déjà, remonter un petit coup ici, voilà, pour être bien. Ah, Otacon ou
Ryden,
Snake.
are you reading me? This is Otacon. What's your situation?
Wet and miserable. This place is flooded. The seawater that's been pumped up is pouring into the building.
I see. Listen, there's something I have to tell you about EE.
Don't worry about her. I'll get her out.
She's afraid of water.
What?
Aïe.
Yeah. When she was 6 years
Ah bah
old,
ça
she
c'est
almost
con ça,
drowned with
parce
my
que...
father in our swimming pool.
She can't swim?
Well, yes and no. We used to swim a lot together when we were kids. In fact, she swam like a fish until that day when she almost drowned. When the accident happened, I was in my room. I learned later that EE was calling me for help. She didn't doubt for a minute that I'd be there. You could see the pool from my room, but I didn't realize at the time that she needed my help.
What were you doing?
I was...
So Emma survived the ordeal.
Yeah, but my father didn't.
So you blamed yourself and left your family?
No. EE seems to believe that was the case. The fact is, I betrayed her.
And you think she can't swim because of the traumatic experience?
I haven't seen her since that day, but yes, I think so. I got a letter from Julie, her mother, after they moved back to England. In her letter, she mentioned that EE couldn't swim anymore, that she refused to even wear a bathing suit.
Damn, if she still can't swim, we're in trouble. Level B1 in the core is pretty much flooded.
Look, maybe
c'est
you can
embêtant,
help
ça.
her overcome the trauma.
You want me to help her get over it?
Well, it's still gonna take some time to repair the Kamov.
Sorry, kid. Emma's rescue is up to you.
Thanks. An underwater mission. Well, this is a first. Look, I'll see what I can do.
I suggest that you drum the map of the building into your head, because you won't have time to look at it when you try to bring Emma out.
I'm counting on you, Raiden.
I covered most of the core when I had to take out the C4s. If there's anything you need to ask me, call me on the codec.
I'll do that.
T'inquiète, Snake. Donc bah ouais, elle a eu un traumatisme par rapport à l'eau dans sa jeunesse. Il s'est passé des trucs assez assez horribles, on va dire ça, quand ils étaient plus jeunes, Otakon et Emma, en rapport avec son père et tout. Enfin bref, on en saura plus plus tard. Et donc ouais, il va falloir essayer de la sauver avant qu'elle se noie, avant que ça soit la merde, quoi, tout simplement. Alors attendez, je vais aller ici avant. Je sais plus c'est où le bon côté, tellement c'est un labyrinthe ici. C'était pas là déjà. C'était pas ici. J'ai jamais kiffé ce passage, enfin ça m'a traumatisé quand j'étais plus jeune, ce passage. Tellement il était oppressant, tellement il était... Jamais aimé ce passage-là. Mais il est kiffant, mais c'est juste que... Bah, c'est compliqué, quoi, c'est oppressant, t'as l'impression d'être à sa place, quoi, de manquer de respiration, de vite être pas bien, quoi. Putain, j'arrive pas à faire... Attendez, j'ai du mal à le contrôler, hein. Je sais pas ce qu'il a. Tu veux bien aller tout droit, s'il te plaît? Voilà. Ici, y a rien. Apparemment, non. Vas-y, reprends ta respiration. Voilà. Ensuite, on va aller par là. Vas-y, go. Attends, est-ce qu'il n'y a pas... Bon, ici, il y a une mine. Attention. Donc ici, je crois qu'on avait déjà fouillé. On va continuer. Bah non, en fait, c'était là-bas qu'il fallait aller, ouais. Et regardez le petit canard. Petit canard en plastique. Ouais, il fallait aller par là où il y a la mine. Donc il va falloir faire attention. Oh, attention. Vas-y, passe. Une petite ration, vas-y, prends. Attention, mine. Ok, vite. Ok. Ok. Donc là ça va être l'inconnu, mais là ça va être... Ouais. Là ça va être l'inconnu, on n'a jamais été aussi loin. Vous allez voir comment ça va être compliqué ce passage là. Déjà il faut ouvrir la porte. Allez vite, dépêche-toi. Et regardez-moi ce bordel qu'il y a ici. Ah oui, déjà il y a Stillman. Le cadavre de Stillman, le pauvre. Ah. À cause de Fatman là, cet enfoiré. Alors attends, avant d'y aller. Oh putain, le cadavre. C'est pour ça que j'ai jamais aimé ce passage. Genre on est sous l'eau, il y a un cadavre et t'es... Ah, t'es pas bien dans ce passage du jeu là. C'est horrible. C'est horrible. En plus de ça, je crois qu'il y a des... Déjà, il faut se frayer un chemin, il faut passer en dessous des trucs. Je crois qu'il y a des bombes aussi en même temps. Enfin, des bombes, des mines. Oh. Des munitions pour le Stinger. On prend. Et ensuite, ouais, il faut aller ici. Il y a encore une porte à ouvrir. Donc non, c'est pas ici qu'il y a des mines, je crois que c'est plus loin encore. Attention. Vas-y, vite, ouvre. Ouvre, dépêche-toi. Allez. Allez. Vite. Go. putain, j'ai cru que c'était une mine. Qu'ils avaient placé une mine en haut, mais non, ils sont pas aussi fourbes. D'ailleurs, on va se... Ah non, on peut pas se heal. Ah si. Pardon, j'ai rien dit. Hop, voilà. Et... Hop! Enfin, on sort.